Despite the world's northernmost capital being frozen most of the year, Reykjavik is a city that is constantly blooming. One area that is in full bloom is the reclaimed docks just north of the Old West Side. Old rusted warehouses are now giant canvases, housing pop-up bespoke shops and savory nibble spots that definitely emit Brooklyn vibes. And while you can still walk the docks and find the absolute oh my god! What? Who would eat that? What is that?
What is this? God, does it bite?
Okay, well, not even fresh-caught nightmares can keep the cavalcade of cool kids from descending on this fringe neighborhood. This area is just lousy, with Pinterest-perfect shops selling couture cod liver oil, bespoke boutiques with enough black to satisfy an Upper East Sider, quiet coffee clutches where you can finally find an outlet, sick street art that will definitely challenge your perspective, and a bunch of badass breweries where bros get their barley on. Not to mention some of the best food in the city, including the world's northernmost shawarma shop with the only robot shawarma slicer that I've ever seen. Who knew shawarma technology was so advanced here? Here's looking at you, Iceland. While this treasure trove of hipster delights will surely intoxicate you, there is one place that will have you absolutely blackout drunk. May I introduce you to Omnom, Iceland's only chocolate factory. I distinctly remember buying an Omnom bar at a local coffee shop, and after my first bite, I was immediately sending out an email to see if I can get a more intimate understanding of how they put heaven in a foil wrapper. Omnom graciously obliged, and I was soon having a conclave of cocoa with project manager Michael Ryan, who was going to school me on all things chocolate. Now, for the record, you don't have to be a pushy New Yorker to get an inside look of how happiness is made. They offer tours every day but Sunday, and yes, you do get to sample the goods. So, Omnom was founded by childhood friends. Oh man, oofa. That is a tough one. Okay, let's hop over to the internet. Maybe this will help a bit. Okay, good enough. Alright, where was I? Yeah, right. Omnom was founded by childhood friends and in 2013 was a chef familiar with single origin dark chocolate and began experimenting with small batches with his friend, who I assume was a willing guinea pig like true childhood friends are. The duo knew they were onto something special, so they made Omnom legit and set up shop in, wait for it, an old gas station.
Wow, this is a gas station. That's wild.
I can't make this stuff up. This is literally the things that hipster dreams are made out of. Alright, so before long, the word had spread about their chocolate gold, so they moved into this sprawling factory on the wharf in Reykjavik, which is about as far away as possible from where their bars begin. You see, Omnom sources their beans from just 3 farms straddling the equator, chosen not only for the unique quality of their fruit, but also for being all fair trade, organic, and independently owned. And when you consider that 2 million children are used as labor to supply the world's chocolate demand, finding ethically sourced cocoa beans is a really, really big deal. So, once they're harvested, they're naturally fermented in their sweet pulp for a week, then sun-dried for another week before the beans are shipped to Iceland, which is probably the last place on Earth they thought they'd end up. They are then carefully toasted with a modified coffee roaster that they invented with a local coffee shop, and then cracked into cocoa nibs that are ground in-house to create the rich, delicious cocoa that Omnom uses. And let me tell you, they make a lot of it. Like
440-ish pounds of melted chocolate.
That's cool.
Ready to go.
Can a man fit in here? Let's say I wanted to go in this.
Pretty sure.
Not with the safety elements, but we could shut those off.
Okay, great.
So each one of these is solid blocks of chocolate. Basically, once it comes out of those grinding machines, we'll just stock it up until we have about a metric ton of one flavor.
That's amazing.
About 6 metric tons of chocolate blocks at the moment.
6 metric tons. I mean, standing there, surrounded by walls of pure, uncut chocolate, I felt like the cocoa equivalent of Scarface. Say hello to my sweet friend! Okay, anyway, while they're always trying to push the limits of their confection science with new flavors and techniques, Omnom makes chocolate with only 3 ingredients: cocoa beans, milk, and sugar. That's it. And while their cocoa is definitely special, the real magic to Omnom's chocolate comes from their Icelandic milk. This protected breed of cattle brought from Norway over 1,000 years ago have a unique grazing habit and diet that give their milk a beautiful, rich quality that simply is unlike any other cow juice on the planet. I mean, come on, Vikings brought these cows. They make Viking milk. It's powerful stuff. Omnom's attention to detail doesn't end with their unique recipe, but continues even in their artful packaging. Designed within an inch of its life, they are hand-wrapped with care and sheathed in beautifully illustrated envelopes, some with hidden Easter eggs.
So that's my favorite. It's like got a little Easter egg.
Where's the Easter egg?
It's a little sheepdog.
Oh, that's funny, underneath.
All organic, all giving back to the community, all sourced by local farmers. These bars of true Icelandic joy are handmade, heart-forward, and happy, making them not just taste good, but feel good chocolate. And quite certainly the best thing to ever come out of a gas station.